Today we're going to review solving by completing the square. That does have applications. One of the applications of it is to write your quadratics in vertex form. It also helps you factor or get the solutions for a quadratic when it doesn't factor. So here, like if I tried to factor number 20 and I want two numbers that multiply to give me 91 and add to give me 20, those numbers don't exist. So that's not going to work out for me. So it's a way to solve it. It's a way to put quadratics in certain forms. And this says move C to the right, so it reads, and I'm not really sure. It's hard to tell. This gets blurry up here. I don't know if that says minus C, if that says equals, but either way, it's not right. It should be ax squared plus bx equals negative C. Like you just move it over, legally move it over, right? And make sure if bx was on the right, it's on the left, okay? If a does not equal 1, then we can divide the entire thing by a when you're using it to solve. If you're using it to actually set up a quadratic, you really can't lose that a, but to get your solutions, it's okay. So, and I'm pretty sure, now I cannot guarantee that your course is going to be exactly like the course that the students took last year next semester, but I'm pretty sure they just completed the square because it said to complete the square. I don't think they actually applied it in anything. So I think we'll be fine with that method. Then we're going to find b over 2 squared and add it to both sides. I'll make sure you understand what that means when we get there. Then we factor it, and I'll walk you through the rest. But the main thing is make sure that you get the c over to the other side. So let's just start with number 20, and I'll just walk you through it. The steps are there. They'll make more sense after we do it, so you can always go back and look at the steps if you need to. So we're going to move the 91 over. So I'm going to get x squared, but I'm going to add something extra in here. X squared plus 20x plus a blank equals negative 91 plus a blank. Okay, trust me when I say put the blanks there. Is this for all of them? Okay. All right, let me make sure everybody's here. Hang on a second. Okay, so then the next step said to find b over 2 squared. So what that means is you're going to take this number right here, take half of it. So half of 20 is what? 10. And then you square it. 10 squared is 100. So I'm going to add 100 here. But whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So I'm going to add 100 over here as well. Okay. Next step says to factor the trinomial, but this is super easy because you already know what to write. Since that made this a perfect square trinomial, there's a shortcut for that when you factor it. It's not a shortcut most of us ever remember. We really even talk about it anymore. But because we know it's a perfect square trinomial and we just came up with these numbers, I'm going to get a binomial that's going to be squared. And it has to start with x. The sign in the middle is dependent on whatever the sign on the b term is. So it's plus. And then whatever number you use to square this. So I took half of 20 and got 10, then squared it. So this is 10. Okay, it's half a b. Thank you. All right. Everybody good with how we got that? And then that's equal to negative 91 plus 100 is 9. Okay. So then we're kind of in the situation that we were in yesterday. So now I can take the square root of both sides. I don't want to actually multiply that out because I just had it multiplied out. And this is going to give me x plus 10 equals what? Plus or minus, thank you, plus or minus 3. So that means that x equals negative 10 plus or minus 3. But then I have to actually calculate that stuff up and get x equals negative 10 plus 3 is negative 7. And then negative 10 minus 3 is negative 13. And I misspoke because I actually could have factored that one. But if you don't know how to factor it, like you can't come up with the numbers, there you go. But it could have factored, but this is just another way to do it where you don't have to come up with all those different ways or all those different factors. Everybody good? Questions? Okie dokie. So let's look at 21. 21 is already that way. So see if you can get this one, how far we can get on this one. We got x squared minus 4x plus blank equals 48 plus blank. What number do you think goes in that blank? What do we do over here? We took half of this and squared it, right? So I'm going to take half of 4 and get 2 squared and get 4, okay? So this is 4 and this is 4. Then I factor this, which will be a binomial squared every time you do it. It will always start with x. And then since the b term is negative, this is minus in here. And then I took half of 4 and got 2, so it's 2 right there. That equals 52. Okay, yep, and we square root it. And I'm going to get x minus 2 equals plus or minus the square root of 52. That's not a perfect square. So come off to the side and simplify your square root of 52. So that's what I got. Is that what you got? So that means that x minus 2 equals plus or minus. So these two 2's come out as a 2, and then square root of 13. We want our square root term to be last. So we get x equals 2 plus or minus 2 square roots of 13. And that's my answer. What questions do you have? Everybody good? Okay. All right, let's look at the next one. So the next one, a is not 1. So I'm going to have, I need to move this 9 over, so I'll get 2x squared minus 12x equals 80 when I add the 9. I need to fix that. I'm sorry if it keeps attacking y'all. Here. I need to lean, like, yeah, sorry. Okay, a is not 1, so I can't just start doing stuff here. I'm going to divide everything out. And again, if I really needed it like in the fully factored form, that 2 is important, but if all we're looking for is the solutions, it's okay that we lose it. So I divide every single term by 2. Just divide them all by 2. And that'll give me x squared minus 6x. Then I'm going to put plus blank equals 40 plus blank. Okay. So what number goes in that blank? What do we think? 9. Good, because you take half of 6 and square it. This is 9. This is 9. In the parentheses, it's going to be x. Is it plus or minus? Minus. And minus what number? 3. And that's equal to 49. Everybody with me? Take the square root of both sides. Get x minus 3 equals what? Plus or minus 7. So x equals 3 plus or minus 7. So 3 minus 7 is a negative 4. 3 plus 7 is 10. And there's my answer. Everybody good? All right, y'all do 23 on your own. And if you need to go off to the side to do some arithmetic, that's totally fine. Don't have to do it in your head or anything. Okay, so let me remind you that next semester, when you have to turn things into your teacher, she's going to want to see process, and you don't really have any process here. Okay, you have to write that stuff out. It's negative, negative, and then you won't get a weird number. There you go. And then divide it out. There you go. Yeah, 39. Negative. Don't forget the negative.
Wait, what?
Where did you get 4? Okay, you take half of 16 and square it, and so that'll change those numbers there. I'll just go ahead and tell you because you can just calculate 16 and negative 39 so that you can get them. And watch your signs. Make sure you're not dropping negatives because that's going to cause you to have the wrong numbers. And we don't want the wrong numbers. What are we doing? Okay, good. Keep going. Take half of that and square it. 64 goes right there. But this would be 8. And you forgot to add it on both sides. So that's also not 39. Yeah. Check your work up to here. Make sure we agree up to that point, at least. Because he probably had a positive 39. Mm-hmm. That's what I got in the end. If you're not finished, that's fine. Take a minute to finish and then double check yourself. If you did something weird along the way, figure out where that weirdness is. Any questions? All right, you do 24. Do you have to move something first on 24? What do we got to move on 24? The 16. Okay. Yes, because that's a -1. So it's not 1, it would be I. Yeah. So you're on the right track. Like you're not 100% wrong or anything. Okay, you're doing good.
So would you do plus or minus I?
Yes. Look, you see how I have blanks? Because once you take half of that, you have to take half of that and square it, then you have to put it in those blanks. Oh, wait, you did that. I'm so sorry. I'm just an idiot. Okay. Okay, but when you go from here to here, I'm sorry, I was looking at this step. This will be x minus 8 quantity squared equals -1. Okay. How are we doing? Are we doing okay? Okay, you're good so far. What's the square root of -1? I. So plus or minus. Yes. Right. Okay. Is everybody with me up to this? Up to here? Yes. Yes. Then we take the square root. And then x minus 8. And then no matter what, it is plus or minus. And then the square root of -1 is I. So you get x equals 8 plus or minus I. But remember, in Delta Math, I'm not sure if it lets you do a plus or minus or if you have to do them separate. Y'all could tell, but it would be 8 plus I and 8 minus I if you had to do them separately. Okay. Everybody good on that? All right. You do 25. Make sure you move this around first like it's supposed to be. I'll get you started right there.
Oh.
Good. But don't lose your negative because it's a -88 plus 25, so it's a -63.
I can square the 10.
Oh. 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 Got it. Yeah.
21 times 3?
Yeah.
No, what I'm quoting.
Mm. Help if I use the right numbers. Okay, so I get x minus 5 equals plus or minus 3 what? I square root of 7, right? So that means that x equals 5 plus or minus 3I square root of 7. We're good? What questions we got? You good? Now in Delta Math, a couple of the questions kind of ask you maybe just for this part, or it asks you what this number is, things like that, but it leads you through. It should be hopefully pretty obvious, right? So get to work. You got lots of time.